name is LoeyLane, and I'm so excited to tell you guys about my new podcast, Internet Urban Legends, with my BFF Snitchery.
We deep dive into the darkest corners of the internet to uncover whether some of the most notorious web myths are hoax or whether they're con. Internet Urban Legends, available exclusively on Spotify.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey, and today we are back with the scary side of TikTok. It's been a little while since I found a story on TikTok that really captivated me and brought me in from beginning to end. So I'm really excited to talk about this account today, and I'm also so excited to say that today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit service, offering mouth-watering seasonal recipes and fresh pre-measured ingredients that make cooking dinner or lunch or anything in between a breeze. HelloFresh takes the guesswork out of mealtime. They send you these pre-packaged, pre-measured ingredients and all the instructions that you need to make amazing meals. Plus, it's affordable and ships straight to your door, so you get to skip the grocery store. Working from home, I can get really tempted to order takeout, especially when I don't know what I want to cook. HelloFresh is so amazing for my routine because I don't have to wonder what I'm eating each and every night. Their recipes are fast and easy to make. Some of them are even only 20 minutes or come in the form of oven-ready pizzas. They have amazing recipes to choose from that will help you break out of your own recipe rut, and it also makes healthy eating easy with options like Carb Smart, low calorie, vegetarian, or pescatarian options. Plus, each and every box is packed with fresh produce directly from farmers. Did you know that the average trip to the grocery store takes a whopping 41 minutes? With HelloFresh, you can skip this step entirely and get exactly what you need delivered to your door. What I like the most about HelloFresh is how much it helps me with my own food waste. I've never lived on my own before. I've never really cooked for one. So it was kind of hard for me when I first moved into my house in LA to know exactly how much food to make. With HelloFresh, I don't have to guess, and I certainly don't have to buy things that I will never use for another recipe. They include everything in their box that you need to get your dinner, from pre-cooked ingredients to a mouth-watering meal, in a matter of minutes. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code LOEY14 for 14 free meals plus free shipping. Once again, that's HelloFresh.com, as well as code LOEY14 for 14 free meals and free shipping. Take the guesswork out of mealtime and treat yourself to HelloFresh. Thank you once again to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get into the story. Okay, I had to take a bit of a break and actually eat the HelloFresh meal that I showed you guys in this video. I was very hungry and it is dinner time, so hopefully everything still looks kind of similar. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the SoulMori's TikTok account. By the time that I was getting tagged in this person's videos and stumbled across them on my For You page, they were actually already following me, which was such a treat. I love becoming mutuals with people whose stories that I'm following, and I have to say that the story of SoulMori's haunted dolls goes deeper and much more complex than I ever could have imagined. In order to understand the haunted dolls going viral on this page in September of 2021, we need to backtrack a bit. Back to the first place where this haunting was ever mentioned. And the first recorded date that I can find of that is April of this past year, 2021. In this video, SoulMori's just shows freaky things from her haunted home. These things include, but are not limited to, the following: animal bones inside and outside of the home, chandeliers that the family has to chain together or else they violently shake and make a lot of noises, human-like faces in the garden, a piano that plays on its own, and alarmingly, but most importantly, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, this is the most important detail, a painted sun with the name Gilbert directly beside it. I won't leave you in suspense over what is so important about Gilbert for too terribly long, as SoulMori's quickly followed up this original video talking about Gilbert, as well as capturing footage of her niece talking a little bit about conversations with Gilbert.
This is Gilbert. He is a painting of a sun, and he has been here since my family moved in. It is believed that the previous owner painted him, but he won't tell us anything. People have tried to put wallpaper over him, but he comes back. This room smells really strange, and I feel a really dark energy within him. I hear my niece talking to him, so I talk to her.
Did you like him?
Yeah, Gilbert's like one of my best friends.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I think the man that used to live here painted it.
Is Gilbert friendly? Does he speak to you?
Yeah,
What does he say?
because I don't pray.
So she's always gotten a weird feeling from Gilbert. Gilbert is telling this literal child very strange stuff, and people are hooked. I mean, pretty much instantly. Everyone is just so invested in this story. So SoulMori follows up all of this by doing like a 3-part tour on her TikTok page of the house. I'm not going to put that in here. The house is sort of secondary to the story, but it is so fascinating. So if you do want to check it out, I'm going to have all of SoulMori's pages and stuff linked down below. Her TikTok, her store, her Instagram, everything like that. So if you want to watch the full walkthrough, you can do so on her channels. But after this 3-part walkthrough, the following video is incredibly eerie. Her niece singing "You Are My Sunshine" to one particular floorboard of the house in Gilbert's room. When SoulMori and her brother investigated, they found something unexplainable and beyond strange. A chalkboard with the name Gilbert etched into it. At least, that's what I thought at first. In the following video, it's clarified that this is hardly a harmless chalkboard. This is a full-blown Ouija board hidden under the floorboards of the abandoned puppet theater. Just sitting there, exactly where SoulMori's niece was singing. This is kind of when I noticed something particularly odd, that Gilbert's painting, the smiling sun, was staring directly at this area and smiling. Super freaky stuff. We're not off to a great start. Following this, SoulMori once again posted another clip of the children that live in the house, this time talking directly to Gilbert. The child in this clip says, "I'm not stupid," which is kind of like the way you would expect a kid to talk to another kid, right? Like, "Oh, you're stupid. I'm not stupid." You know, kind of like that child like bickering.
I heard that. I'm not stupid. I'm very smart. I'm the smartest kid in class. Okay, not really.
It's becoming pretty apparent, both from the verbiage used by the children when they speak to Gilbert, as well as his heavy presence in this like playroom, that Gilbert is a child spirit, or at the very least, someone portraying themselves to be a child. Following this, SoulMori actually made an art piece based on what Gilbert looks like to her, what he's shown himself to her as, and her interpretation. And it confirms that this is a kid spirit. So why does she get such a negative feeling from it? Why was it hiding items beneath the floorboards in this playroom? And if it is a child, why did they pass at such a young age? Of course, a story like this brought in a ton of new viewers, so SoulMori took this opportunity to answer a few commonly asked questions.
I'm currently researching the history of the house to find out who lived there. I don't live there anymore. I moved out in November. I personally think Gilbert is a child spirit. We think the previous owner painted the sun. The painting was there when we moved in. We have felt this presence for a long time. I find this stuff really interesting, so of course I'm going to document it when it happens within my very own home. So let's see where this takes us.
She personally had moved out of the home in November, but her family still lived in the house. She also believes that the previous owner of the house painted the Gilbert sun. Long before she ever posted these videos onto TikTok, she had filmed them and also had just felt Gilbert's presence. And this was an energy she had been familiar with for seemingly a quite long time. But now that it's on TikTok and people have so many questions, and also I'm sure just a natural curiosity of her own, she wanted to get to the bottom of it, to figure out what it all meant and what this spirit wanted. The energy really began to pick up in these videos when SoulMori posted one clip talking to her niece about how she knew something was beneath that particular floorboard that her niece was singing to. And when this happens, the camera catches a disembodied voice.
Maybe because the floor was wobbly.
It still kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit wobbly. Oh yeah, because there's like holes and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah.
Whoa. Did you hear that? Whoa. Oh my god, did you hear that? It's okay. It's okay. Gilbert's friendly.
Alarmingly, something can be heard here. Something that sounds like it's saying the word no in a very deep voice, as well as heavy breathing. Then SoulMori has a bit of an art day with her niece, hoping that she'll open up about Gilbert, about how he appears to her, about what her niece knows, really. And what her niece says causes a lot of concern, to say the absolute least.
He's crying blood for some reason.
Why?
Because he's sad and Gilbert cries blood. Finished. This is Gilbert. The reason why it looks like there's stitches on his face is because his family forced him to actually smile, so they put stitches on his face. That went very wrong then.
Why did they do that?
Because he always talked too much and he never smiled, not even in the family photos.
So Gilbert was forced to smile by his family, is seen as crying blood now in the afterlife, and also has stitches all over his face. It's both really horrifying and sad to think that something like this could happen to a child, but does give a bit of clarity, in my opinion, as to why the haunting is so intense. It sounds like this child, this spirit, went through a lot when they were alive, and I can understand how that would leave anyone quite restless in the afterlife. To circle back to the Ouija board here, SoulMori at this point in the story posts a video talking a bit about the Ouija board, how she wanted to use it, but how people were really apprehensive about her using it, especially alone. So she's just saying to the camera how she's not really sure what to do when her niece approaches her with something that she found in the house. A small doll that looks startlingly similar to that photo that SoulMori drew of what she saw Gilbert as. Could this be Gilbert himself? It's revealed that this doll was found in a newly exposed hole at the bottom of the sun painting. And as this clip is being filmed, we can once again hear a voice off camera.
Gilbert told me.
I wrote down that this sounded like it was just like a male saying oi or something similar, sounding like mildly irritated. Maybe he didn't want the doll to be moved. In doing research on the home, SoulMori stumbles across an amazing photograph from 1916 of the house.
Here is a photo of the house from 1916, and it was built in 1902. So this would be the first or one of the first families to live in this house. As you can see, there are 6 people present in the photo. And looking at the English census records, I found that the father would be called John, the mother was called Maud, next to her on the balcony is a daughter Dorothy. The birth of a little boy called Gilbert was also registered here in 1911, so he would be about 5 or 6 in this photo. I'm unsure why he's not with the rest of his family in the photo, what they did to him. I just have an overwhelming feeling that something really terrible happened to him at the hands of his own family. The weirdest part is that this is where the sun painting is situated in the house. That's his room.
She is able to match up names with census records at the time due to both the genders of the people in the photo as well as their ages. So she places the names to everyone, but it leaves Gilbert, who can be seen standing in the window of the home by himself, not with his family. He's up in the puppet theater, away from everyone else taking the family photo. Why did his family not want him in it? In late April, the poster was babysitting her niece and nephew when she spotted Gilbert hanging from the ceiling by a thread, the Gilbert doll. I'm gonna breeze past this because I recently got demonetized for showing a teddy bear get a surgery in one of my last videos. And also just because it's heavy and it's hard to talk about. But SoulMori's niece does say here that Gilbert likes to act out the way that he died because he wasn't the perfect child. This was how he met his end. There is another video, much more lighthearted, that shows when SoulMori showed Gilbert a painting she had done of him, just letting him know that it's him, then asking how he liked it. In the moment, she couldn't hear his answers, but once she was off camera, we can hear some pretty clear, crystal clear stuff in response.
What do you think of this painting, Gilbert? I did it for you.
He said that he likes it and thanks for listening.
Following this, there's a multi-part series where SoulMori and her brother use the Ouija board at last. I think that it was just weighing on them and they wanted to get it out of the way open up this communication, because like it or not, the activity in the house was becoming much more intense, especially with these videos being filmed and the spirits of the house being talked to more and more. When asking if someone is there, they receive a simple yes. When asking who, amazingly, Gilbert's name is spelled out, but with an R missing, so it is spelled Gilbert, the way that a child would misspell their own name. So SoulMori asks, did you mean Gilbert? And of course, the Ouija board says yes. When asking how old he is, he responds between the numbers 6 and 7. When asking if he's okay, the answer is a resounding no. And after doing the Ouija board, understandably, Gilbert became a lot more vocal. I mean, just becoming more active in the home, doing more things, moving around a lot, and even setting off toys, like in this video. One user in particular points out to SoulMori at this point in the story that the Gilbert painting almost looks like it's peeling off the wall, and wonders, could there be something behind it, as her niece found the Gilbert doll itself behind like a newly exposed hole in the wall. So SoulMori actually answers that there is a crawl space behind this area of the house, behind the painting, but that she's been too afraid to go into it. She does note here that it's filled with a ton of old dolls and puppets and more. But of course, in following videos, she gathers her courage, and I think with the help of other people in her family, decides to explore this crawl space. This is where she finds another character in this story, Gloria. This pink doll is found with a piece of rope, a moon painting with the name Gloria on it, as well as this pink puppet doll. Gloria's moon is the perfect parallel to Gilbert's sun, and it's clear that they were always meant to go together. But for some reason, she's been stashed away. With all of the activity in the house really ramping up, SoulMori's parents decide, hey, we want to throw this stuff away. Like, you cannot keep this stuff. You can't keep it in this house. Like, no. And so she decides she's going to take the items with her, as she cannot bring herself to throw them away. She wanted to give them the love and care that they never really received. Gilbert is clearly a child spirit, really unsettled in the afterlife, and Gloria is very similar. And this is where our story was initially supposed to begin, with videos of these dolls moving on their own going incredibly viral on TikTok. But of course, I was privileged enough to learn all about this story and kind of start from the beginning to meet these characters in their very humble beginnings. In a video that went viral and got 1.3 million likes on TikTok, SoulMori feels something strange inside of Gloria's leg. She realizes upon pulling it out that it is a tiny hat made just for Gilbert. So these two were always made to go with each other. They were always going to be kind of each other's yin and yang, each other's sun and moon, and that part's very sweet. But what isn't is this moment here where she finds a piece of paper inside of Gloria's arm, reading, "I told you to smile." Just like we saw on the note that her niece had drawn beside the photo of Gilbert crying blood. I told you to smile. As tragic and difficult as these dolls' backstories are, SoulMori does her best to make them feel at home. She bakes them a welcome cake, throws them tea parties, and even plays them music, which they happily dance along to. The dolls move on their own quite frequently on camera, and it's kind of crazy to me how much they seem to move and dance along. One of my favorites was from a tea party video actually posted on my birthday in May of this year, where Gloria moves around as she's being poured tea. Gilbert also moves a lot in this video, but ultimately I just thought it was really interesting and scary and fascinating and heartwarming and sad and everything you could imagine. I feel so much when looking at these dolls. They're highly active and you can almost feel their personalities through the screen. I think that SoulMori has done an excellent job telling their story, but also providing them a space safe enough that they feel comfortable expressing themselves literally on camera for millions of people. We could be here for hours talking about how massive and fascinating and just everything that SoulMori's doll collection is. after she started posting these videos, people began to send her their doll collections from late wives or just personal doll collections they thought could be haunted. And so the collection grew and grew and grew. For the most part, we are going to be focusing on Gloria and Gilbert, but there were some really interesting additions. Sometimes she does get particularly freaky ones, like these two clown dolls that the other dolls seem to reject. They give her a really bad vibe, they're playing music on their own. It's bad news.
I've been keeping them in this box in a closet and I just don't know what to do. They are music boxes. I've looked online and someone left a comment. They are music boxes, but they don't have a winding key, which I find really strange because they play music. Look, there is no winding key on the back.
Gilbert even went so far as to throw himself against a wall in a tantrum and break his own legs off. So SoulMori's did a video cleaning him up and all of that. But as I'm saying all of this, is it real? Is it an ARG? I'm sure a lot of you have been watching this video wondering the same thing for yourself. The creator has come forth to say in a video on her account that the story is real. The story about the house, the dolls, everything, the names, it's all real, it's all true. But by her estimation, about 15% of this story is performance, in her own words, or storytelling. And I think that in this particular case, that makes a lot of sense. She says herself that she feels that half of the fun is not really knowing. And I can agree with that. Looking through this entire account, you can tell that there's something to these dolls, something about their energy. And I think it makes a lot of sense that maybe they just need a little help expressing themselves sometimes. So that doesn't really bother me. It's kind of a cool mesh of things that we talk about here on this channel between the truth and the ARG. And I really like it. It doesn't change that a lot of this content is very real. And it is truly terrifying. SoulMori's actually posted a video from May 8th of this last year showing exactly why her family was like, get rid of these dolls. They cannot stay here. In the next video, where a camera is pointed directly at her doll's shelf in order to catch movement, we can see as the Gloria doll looks directly at the camera. Some of the movements really are authentic, and SoulMori's herself has said the dolls are truly haunted. There's a lot I'm skipping over here because, again, I really want to focus on Gloria and Gilbert. I've actually talked to SoulMori's, and if you guys like this video, we can do a follow-up on a lot of the other haunted dolls or other paranormal stories she may have. But for now, I really wanted to talk about Gloria and Gilbert's story specifically. So it's earlier in this year, a few months ago, that she feels really compelled to take the dolls back to the home. She just feels this pull, not only to go to the house where her family still lives, but also to take the dolls with her. She is then shown by Gloria using the pendulum one particular floorboard where it says yes and yes and yes and yes over and over again. SoulMori's finds beneath the floorboards once again a small doll that she believes to have been Gloria's when she was still alive. This very cute doll with like a pink dress and a full head of hair. She thinks this is Gloria's real doll. Gloria's head turns slightly here, as if to say, keep looking. And a second doll is discovered. one that looks startlingly similar to Gilbert and covered in cracks all over its face. Once again, SoulMori felt that this was Gilbert's doll from when he was alive. She could just feel the energy from him specifically, and for Gloria for the other one. But that wasn't all that she found beneath those floorboards. She also found a small wooden box. Upon opening the box, another doll is found, as well as several crumpled and disheveled photographs of Gloria and Gilbert themselves.
The photographs? Look at his little face. That's Gilbert.
This is why I think that people give SoulMori much too hard of a time for that 15% being a performance. The emotion when looking at these photos is real. These children were real. And it's so sad to think about them as real people who have passed on due to really sad and tragic circumstances. And the sadness, the tragedy of this all is not lost on our poster. She feels it too. And this emotion when she's looking at the photographs, I think is impossible to fake. These real photos of the people who now inhabit her haunted dolls stirs up quite a lot of emotion in her. This is real to her. She even went so far as to post one TikTok with like a string of emails from the previous owner of the house who was like, yeah, I knew it was haunted. I hid stuff away. They would move on their own, like all of this stuff. And she censors out a lot of, really important information, but it goes to show that she's not the only one experiencing it. Her family, the families before her, so on and so forth. Everyone knows that this place is really something special but terrifying. The story is complex and sad and all of these things, but right now we have it to where we know that these two children are inhabiting the bodies of these dolls and they live with her and they seem pretty happy. But that doesn't mean that it's always sunshine and rainbows in the world of SoulMori's haunted dolls. In fact, those clown dolls that I mentioned earlier, they gave off a particularly grotesque vibe, wreaked havoc on her doll room. And one day she comes in to find all of her dolls torn off the shelves. One is even found at one point levitating in the air. And I think that that's just what happens when there's that much energy in a vessel. She luckily did choose to get rid of those dolls as they were bringing very bad vibes and a lot of dissonance into her haunted dolls' lives and her own life. But like I said, we're gonna really focus on Gloria and Gilbert. At one point, once again, they asked SoulMori to go back to the house. Specifically, they asked her to go to the crawl space as they had something to show her. Doesn't that sound fun? SoulMori obliged, but found nothing in particular in the actual crawl space. Using her pendulum, she then wound up back in Gilbert's room, where by a string of bizarre coincidences around lifting up floorboards again with what the pendulum was guiding her to, she finds another doll, a blue clown puppet that looked so similar to Gloria, it's uncanny. In this doll's clothing was another note. I really couldn't read this when first looking at it, but I guess everybody in the comment section was pointing out that it said "as above." So this inspired SoulMori to head to the basement, as she believed the "as above" would have a "so below." One of my favorite phrases, by the way. I really want it tattooed on me. Following her own intuition, she heads to the basement. In the midst of her search, her pendulum alarmingly breaks in front of a white cupboard. She opened it to find another clown doll, almost the perfect opposite to the blue one found upstairs. This one's body was red and the head was blue, as opposed to how the original clown doll that she found looked. And of course, another note is found, "so below." As above, so below. In a perfect opposite of each other, these two dolls lay. SoulMori believes that the first doll that she found is the mother doll. She believes this to be the mother of Gloria and Gilbert, named Maud. While the secondary doll, the So Below doll, is Gilbert's ash doll in her own eyes. But Gilbert rejected this vessel, so to speak, to haunt or to stay in, as it just didn't speak to him or call to him. While asking Maud in one video for clarification, you can see Maud's hand lift in the air, as if to say hi, or just to raise her hand in response, proving that SoulMori's theory about her being Maud, the mother, is right. So this family is reunited in SoulMori's own safe space away from the house, where they probably all suffered so much tragedy. We know that Gilbert was told by his parents to smile. "We told you to smile," as has been referenced multiple times at this point. And I don't think that Maud would have done anything particularly sinister to her children. It's just not the vibe I get from her doll. I don't know if I'm like totally off in that. I think that there was something about the dad. Something about the dad just feels like very sinister and bad. And I have no like reason for saying that. It's just my own theory, because I don't think that if SoulMori thought the mother was bad or evil or had treated these children particularly badly, she would have, number one, brought her into the house to live with the children's spirits, but also number two, then have kept her there with them. She seems very set on making this a safe and loving place for these child spirits, who at this point to me seem like SoulMori's own children. This happy reunion of a family in her space certainly has not helped the energy to stop. I thought I'd throw in one final video here, this fun little tidbit where SoulMori says somebody was knocking at the door. And when asking Gloria if it was her, she gives a small nod. What do you guys think of SoulMori's haunted dolls? I did my best not only to tell this story, but also to let it sort of speak for itself. There are so many videos that I've left out here. I would say probably half of the TikToks within this time frame I did not post. That's not including the ones where SoulMori was just showcasing her art. She does have a shop that I will have linked down below. She has amazing art. She also makes these really cute stuffed animals where she takes like, just stuffed animals, she takes their faces off and then replaces them with kind of a cute, creepy skull face and then gives them little lace trims and stuff. It's very fun. But I still did not include like half of the videos on haunted dolls because we would have been here all day, and I really just want to talk about Gilbert and Gloria. I'm telling you, they're my buds. I really like them. Maybe it's because I'm also like a mom to multiple child spirit haunted dolls, but just my 2 cents. So if you guys want to see another video with SoulMori, actually the two of us may be chatting about her paranormal experiences and more, let me know down below. I would love to do something like that. I want to say a very special thank you to my subscriber Jenny L, who is a member of this channel. Don't forget that if you want to join my channel memberships, get one extra members exclusive video every single month, and also just access to members only posts and so much more. You can do so by hitting that little join button. It should be somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!